Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Info Day webinar for the fifth open call of the Reinforcing project. Good morning and welcome. We will provide you with details and information about our last open call together with the key partners involved in this process. As always in Reinforcing, we have partners supervising and coordinating and so acting like sort of project officers for the open call, and this specific open call is coordinated by AIT, the Austrian Institute of Technology, and Tecnalia. I'm Angela Simone. I'm the Reinforcing coordinator. And before diving into the details of the open call, and so what are the requirements, what are the specific challenges that we have foreseen to respond through your proposals, I would like to provide you with some information related to the project Reinforcing in general. So to try to understand what is the context in which our open call has been designed. So what is the nature of Reinforcing? So what we are looking for launching these open calls. So what kind of proposals we would like to fund and support thanks to the cascading grant mechanism that we have in our project. I have a short presentation to be shared with you. I hope that you can see it, and I suppose now in presentation mode. So Reinforcing is a quite long project, 50 months of activities on many actions to be devoted with a final important aim. So to get Reinforcing a central point of knowledge and expertise, but also a point of reference for territories and institutions that would like to embark on the open, responsible research and innovation journey. So after a longer experience of the consortium partners in implementing, running open science and responsible research and innovation activities, but also evaluating and supporting other institutions and territories in grounding open, responsible research and innovation practices. We have put together our expertise to design a place, a virtual hub, to collect resources on open, responsible research and innovation, or ORRI, to provide support for any kind of actors, territories, institutions, organizations, entities that would like to start their journey on open, responsible research and innovation, or also boosting and reinforcing their activities on open, responsible research and innovation. Of course, which means to have a place that can be reachable by everyone across the era, across all the countries in Europe, but also beyond. And of course, this means having a virtual hub. So our website, the website of Reinforcing, is also acting as a platform, a one-stop source for organization and institution that would like to find support tools and resources to implement ORRI activities.
Angela, I don't know if it's only me, but I cannot see the slides changing. And it's not in presentation mode, but maybe it's only my problem. I don't know if the others can see them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see them.
We have the same problem.
We have the same problem.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can see perhaps the third slide.
Now is working.
Now,
I mean,
yes.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try, otherwise you can see the second one. I suppose not, because I see in the window that it's not possible to go ahead with the presentation, but
Yeah, it's
I
not in
can try.
presentation mode, but if you change
Yeah,
manually, it's better. Yeah.
Yep.
we can do this way. It's a little trick just to speed up the process. Otherwise, we don't have time for the other presentations or for Q&A. So sorry for this, but let's do this way. So in reinforcing, of course, we have many activities connected to this idea of supporting organization and institutions. And so we have training that are offered from time to time for the ORRI community, so all the actors that would like to work on open, responsible research and innovation. And there is a constant dialogue with the community to really fine-tune the services that we can provide thanks to our central one-stop source, our central virtual hub. But as you know, and you are here today, especially for this reason, we are also we can also distribute funding thanks to the cascading grant mechanism. So small funds to support limited in terms of timing project implementing ORRI activities. You can find all the information that I'm presenting today directly on our platform that looks like this. So you can find all the services and also the grants details, but also the tools and space for the ORRI community in which you can also find the so-called ORRI map. Which is an excellent service to find out potential partnerships. So organizations that are already active in open responsible research and innovation, both acting as facilitators, so supporting other entities and organizations implementing ORRI, but also other territories and institutions like you, for instance, that had past experiences in implementing ORRI actions. So during the lifetime of reinforcing, we are launching 7 open calls. We have launched already 4 calls, and this is the fifth one. Unfortunately, the previous call, which was a booster, and I will tell you more about the different details of the 2 kind of grants that we have, boosters and incubators. So the previous one launched at the end of last year was cancelled. We received many proposals. Unfortunately, all of them were not aligned with the requirement of this call. So we really do hope that for the current open call on responsible digitalization, which was the same topic that we selected also for the 4th open call, we can see the high quality that we would like to have in our project. As a cascading grant managers, of course, we really feel the responsibility of distributing public funds. So someone can say that we are quite strict in our evaluation. Perhaps perhaps it's so. We have a well-structured evaluation process, but the idea is that we really need to be sure that we are providing financial support and funding to high quality proposals. We have upgraded, let's say, our and updated our documents, guidelines and guiding documents for applicants, and also the templates now have more information for the things that we need to see in your proposals. And of course, we have many channels devoted to the grantees for any questions or doubts that you can have for the submission. And in a while, my colleague from Ital Biotech, which is the granting authority for reinforcing, will provide you with more indications and details on how to submit your proposal and what are the requirements in terms of documents and filling out of the templates that you need to complete for the application for reinforcing. So I said we have two kind of grants: booster calls and incubator calls. Currently, we have launched an incubator call, which means more budget, up to 60,000 key of grants. And these grants are intended to be distributed for newcomers to open responsible research and innovation. So organizations, entities, and territories that are new to open responsible research and innovation. And the idea is to have a one-year project to be implemented. Being an incubator means several things. So the first one is to be newcomers in open responsible research and innovation and proposing a one-year project. This is absolutely a mandatory requirement. So different durations are not eligible, and we have also a set date for the start and a set date for the ending of the project. The beginning and the end of the projects are not under negotiations, because we have several activities foreseen for the grantees all together, or also with the bilateral activity with the reinforcing consortium. And so we really need to have a cohort working all together, starting together, go ahead together, and finalize the process together. So it's not possible to propose a different duration and different start of the project. The incubators also foreseen small consortia. So you need to present your proposal with a small consortium of at least 2 entities, and the coordinator should be the newcomer in open responsible research and innovation, and the coordinator also will have the majority of the budget, and so also the majority of the activities to be implemented. Before diving into the specific requirements for incubators and what are the activities that Reinforcing Consortium will provide to the grantees, I stop here, and I will pass the floor to the two co-coordinators from AIT and Technalia, and later on we will provide you information about the specific duties for the incubator grantees and for the Reinforcing Consortium in supporting you. So
yes, thank you,
Lasse,
Angela.
I suppose it's your turn.
Yes, do you see my slides now?
Yep.
Yes.
In presentation mode as well?
Yep.
Great. Okay, thank you so much for handing over the word there, Angela. I'm just going to get into a bit of the specificities of this particular incubator call. So the call coordinators are myself. I'm a scientist at the Austrian Institute of Technology, and then Raul and Esquelia from Tecnalia in Spain. So, see here. Yes, this is the fifth reinforcing open call. And as you might know, we open up for applications on, we are already open up for applications until the 5th of August. And as Angela just said, this is a 12-month project, and you will be allocated 60,000 euros if you are a successful proposal. And you're at the webinar here today. We also have one on the 4th of July. If you thought you missed something today, and this will also be put up on our social channels later today. Okay, so what kind of call is this? Well, it is an incubator call. They're awarded to consortia of beneficiaries from at least two different beneficiaries per consortium, in which the main applicant has to be new to the ORRI approach and would like to embark on an ORRI journey. For the fifth reinforcing open call, we have a maximum of 12 consortia, and these need to be applicants need to be established in a European country, member state or associated. Applicants have to be legal entities already established at the moment of submission. Such as, but not limited to, CSOs, NGOs, higher education institutions, research centers, and small and medium enterprises. Applicants have to declare their financial stability, and applicants cannot have any potential conflict of interest with the reinforcing selection process, i.e. No legal relationship with any of us, the organizations that are part of the reinforcing consortium, nor of any affiliated entities. Here we go. The topic of the call is responsible digitization, and we support public and private organizations of all sizes with experimenting and implementing a thoughtful and responsible approach to the development, use, and governance of digital technologies, especially by considering their ethical, legal, and societal impact. Now, the full call text is already available to you. I'm just going to skim a little bit through it here so we're all on the same page of what we are talking about. The purpose of this incubator call is to encourage some first-time experimentation with ORRI in digitization and support institutional change towards responsible digital innovation by promoting inclusive, ethical, and sustainable digital transformations. So why responsible digitization? Well, we have all seen the nice benefits that digitalization brings in terms of efficiency and effectiveness, but it also changes the way organizations and citizens interact on a daily basis. So it is important that the structures that are built are inclusive and sustainable. There have been several drawbacks that we can see emerging now from irresponsible digitization. There are some problems with privacy and transparency, bias and discrimination. There is a growing digital divide in society, and misinformation and manipulation is also quite present at this point in time. So the ORRI approach can help address some of these shortcomings and challenges by ensuring that a responsible approach is taken. And that is what we are then looking for. Now, these are a few of the challenges that you can address. The list is not exhaustive nor limited to these specific ones, but you must address one or more of these challenges through the process of embedding and institutionalizing ORRI within an organization or territory. So privacy, transparency, and trusted digitalization tools and services. The deployment of digital technologies demands a continuum of built-in adherence to basic human rights and obtaining societal legitimacy in a specific region. Misinformation and manipulation. Digital technologies have created new and powerful vehicles for old problems around communication and public debates. So it is a key challenge to design and pilot internal, organizational, and regional processes that aim to institutionalize an ORRI approach that can tackle misinformation. And lastly, the more open one, other topics related to the process of institutionalizing responsible digitization in an organization can also be used to justify it can also be used if it is justified in the application process. So these are just examples of some of the activities that we could be looking for, designing and implementing co-creation processes to develop digital solutions and services in the context of responsible digitization, developing and formalizing an internal ORRI strategy for digitalization, and designing and testing stakeholder or citizen engagement models that can potentially be used regularly in digital development decisions, AI strategies, or policies related to digitalization. Future scenario or visioning workshops within a particular organizational or local regional context with stakeholders that can address the ethical, legal, and societal implications of the deployment of digital technologies in particular contexts. And also, finally, developing internal KPIs or evaluation frameworks for ORRI. Now, this was just a few examples of what activities could be. More importantly, let's look at what reinforcing does not fund. External training or consulting activities for institutions, organizations, and territories that are not part of the consortium. Since institutional change is requested to be visible and measurable in the funded entities, at least in the coordinator of the projects. Pure tech development, activities related to technological developments and or proof of concepts, and while reinforcing could support co-creation and visioning workshops, as just mentioned, if they must still be adherent to the scope and requirements of the call. And finally, AI system creation, activities of any kind in which artificial intelligence-based systems or techniques are used or developed, we do not fund. Reflections on AI ethics and responsibility, on the other hand, can be part of the funded actions if coherent and adhering to the scope and requirements of the call. Just looking at the calendar, 12 days ago, we had the official launch. It runs until the 5th of August. Then we have an evaluation process between August and October when we will communicate the projects that are selected for funding. As Angela said, the projects are due to start on November 1st this year and end on the October 31st next year. How to apply, I'm not going to get too far into this because we will hear from my colleague in a moment on how to do just that. But let's just dwell on the mandatory requirements one last time. Again, minimum of 2 entities from EU member states or associated countries. They must be eligible for Horizon Europe grants, and the coordinator must have limited or no prior experience in ORRI. Deliverables, you should release an ORRI resource tool for the reinforcing online platform and include this resource as a key deliverable in the proposal and activity plan. We have some mandatory participation in kickoff meetings, monthly coordinating meetings, an ORRI training workshop, midterm review, final event, and a public webinar. And finally, you must also contribute to reinforcing online channels and participate in peer learning activities. That is all I had, and I'll turn it over to you, Marta.
Okay, I can share my screen, my presentation. Okay. Okay. Then I put in presentation mode. Let me know if you see the changing of the slides. Now I should be at the slide number 2. Otherwise, I will switch off the presentation mode.
Yes, it worked well.
Okay, perfectly. Okay, hello everyone. By the way, I'm Marta Buccaro, a project manager at Consortial Biotech, which, as Angela said, is the partner in the Reinforcing Consortium in charge of the operational management of the cascading grant and also the first part of the evaluation process, as I will talk about later. and also in charge of the communication and the relation between the applicants and the grantees. Regarding our fifth reinforcing open call, the proposal, as said before, must be submitted using the reinforcing project website by the 5th of August 2025 by 5 p.m. Brussels time. The application that you will do will consist of 3 parts. The first one is the online form on the project website that require some general information on the project and also on the partners. It has to be completed, of course, online for each applicant. And later on, I will also show you a test of submission, so I can show you also the structure of the online form. The second part is the technical proposal. It consists of a first part of about the administrative information, and also the technical part focused on the description of the project. It has to be filled using the mandatory template, which has to be downloaded from the website, completed, and also then uploaded in the website in the online form in PDF format. The third part is the declaration of honor, which also have to be downloaded together with the proposal from the project website, has to be completed and signed by the legal representative of each project partners. So, for example, if your consortium is made of 2 partners, you should upload in the website 2 declaration of honors completed and also signed by the legal representative of each of the 2 partners. So then I will. Okay, I don't know if you can see my slide. I don't know. Maybe I can switch off the.
Still looking at the how to apply
now.
slide.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Now you should see the proposal template.
Yes.
Maybe. Okay, perfect. Sorry for this. Okay, so now I will focus more on the structure of the proposal template. So one of the 2 attachments that should be included in your application. So the page limit for the full proposal template without section 1 and section 2, and also the section 5.2, which is the budget, should be 10 pages. And this is also one of the general criteria that we also see during the first part of the evaluation process. So moving more in the structure of the section of the template, the first section is focused on the general information on your project. Is present. This kind of information is present also on the online form. So this part should be completed online. And then before submitting your application, you are invited to remove this section 1 from the proposal template. The section number 2 is focused on the administrative information. You are invited to list the participating organization involved in your project, and also describe, include some data regarding them. For example, of course, the names, the address, and other information. Then section 3, 4, and 5 are the proper technical part of the proposal. Specifically, the third part is focused on the objectives, the needs, and the proposed approach you will develop during your project, as also known as in excellence section. So you will be, as said, invited to describe the objectives of your proposal and how they align with the open call requirements, and also describe the needs you would like to address with your proposal, the main potential challenges that you will incur during your project, and how you plan to address them in relation to your objectives. The section 4 is instead focused on the impact. you will be invited to describe the changes you want to achieve with your project, referring especially to the benefits for your organization in terms of especially the institutional change and also the benefits for the society and the territory at large. The fifth section is the implementation section. You are required to describe the work plan and the budget. The first one is the 5.1 is the work plan. So you are required to divide your work plan into action, as known as also work packages. So for each of them, you are invited to. Sorry? Oh, okay. So for each session, you are invited to describe the objectives of each of them and also the activities and list the expected milestones and also the expected results for each action. Regarding the budget is also very important, of course. So for each consortium partners, you are invited to describe the budget you have allocated for each partner, also considering each action envisaged in your project as described in this slide. So, for example, if you are 2 partners in the consortium, you are invited to fill 2 tables, 1 for each partners, dividing the budget allocated for each section. Then I will change the slide. Let's see if it changes. Okay. Regarding the timeline, Lasse have already explained it, so I will go a little bit more fast. So the call is open for 2 months. As said, you can submit your application until the 5th of August, and then from the day after the deadline, the evaluation process will start. It will last until mid-September, end of September. And between September and October, there will be the communication of the evaluation results to all the applicants, and then the signing procedure of the subgrant agreement will be developed. The subgrant agreement is also known as the contract that the grantees, so the funding proposal will sign with Reinforcing Consortium. The evaluation process will be based mainly on 3 steps. The first one is the eligibility check and the check for other formal requirements that is carried out by Consorzio Italbiotech as contracting entity. The first step is then followed by the preliminary assessment carried out by the Reinforcing Consortium, namely Fondazione Bassetti as Reinforcing Project Coordinator and also the call coordinator, so in your case AIT and Tecnalia. And then the third and final step is the final evaluation, and is normally carried out by a panel made of 3 external evaluators. So each panel is made of 3 experts that will then rank the proposals and decide which are the proposals to be funded. Okay, now I will talk more in detail about the evaluation process and what we consider during these phases. So the first step, as I just said, is carried out by us, so Consorzio Italbiotech. We check the compliance with some eligibility criteria that were also mentioned by Lasse. I will talk about them again shortly, and other general criteria. But we also consider the completeness of the administrative information, the financial and the technical information that are required. Then, if eligible and complete, the Reinforcing Consortium, so Fondazione Bassetti and the call coordinator, will proceed with the preliminary assessment of the proposal that are eligible. So the preliminary assessment will focus primarily on some preliminary quality criteria, especially focused on the excellence and impact section, so section 3 and 4 of the proposal. And then we'll select a maximum of 48 proposals to be evaluated by one evaluation panel. So normally we can select also more than 48 proposals. Is not a matter of number of the proposal. 48 is just the maximum number, the maximum quantity of proposal that can be evaluated by 3 external panelists. Generally, we didn't select it more than 48, but due to a matter of quality of the proposals, not because there were too much, I don't know. And then the proposal that are selected during the preliminary assessment will undergo the final evaluation and ranking made by the panelists that will consider all the 3 sections of the technical proposal, so also the implementation section, which is the section 5. Then we'll proceed with the ranking of the proposals, and this will end with the selection of maximum 12 proposals to be funded. So talking about the first step of the evaluation, the eligibility criteria that also Lasse mentioned are the following. So we have to assure that you are established in a European country, which could be a member state or associated country. You must be also legal entities, for example, CSO, NGO, SME, higher education institution, and other type of legal entities. You also have to declare your financial stability. This is very important and has to be completed in the declaration of honor. You will find a specific phrase that you will read regarding the financial stability. And also you should not have any potential conflict of interest with the reinforcing project and its partners. Other other general criteria that we consider during the eligibility and formal check are shown in the slide. For example, we also consider that the activities that you have described in the action meet the call conditions. We also verify in the declaration of honor your ORRI experience. So in this case, as you apply for an incubator project, the coordinator is expected to be a newcomer, and so the majority of the budget should be assigned to the newcomers organization. So if you don't meet this condition, you will not declare as eligible, so you will not pass the first step. You should also complete the application in all its parts. So we'll check if the template is fully filled and also entirely written in English, as well as the online form and the declaration of honor. Furthermore, the proposal has to be should adhere also the page limits and the formatting requirements specified. These formatting requirements are also written in the first page of the proposal template. So please have a look and then please meet these conditions. And I repeat that the page limits for the incubators are 10 pages without considering section 1, 2, and the budget. You, of course, must submit your proposal on time. And also using the project website and the templates provided. So we cannot accept any application submitted via email, for example. As I also said, the declaration of honor must be signed by the legal representative of each project partner. So this is a compulsory condition to pass the first step of the evaluation. We also consider if you have submit multiple application under this call. So it's not possible to submit many applications under this call. But you can apply for more than one reinforcing call as long as the funding amount received by your organization doesn't exceed 60,000 euro. And finally, you have to declare that in the proposal template, you have to declare that your project has not received funding under another call. Okay, so other evaluation criteria that are considered, especially during the preliminary assessment, but also during the final evaluation, are listed here. So for each section of the proposal, is very important consider this evaluation criteria. I don't know, Angela, if you want to complement, since you are in charge, especially of the preliminary assessment, if you want to add some particulars on this matter.
Thank you, Marta. So talking about the preliminary assessment and the third and final phase of the evaluation, of course, you have a template with a structure, which is quite similar to the template that you have seen for the European Commission call for projects. So we have an excellent section, which is called Objectives, Needs and Approach in our case. A second part more related to the impacts of your project, and so the changes to be achieved in your own institution, in the territory and society at large. This is as well as the other two sections, but this is really relevant for us, especially in the case of an incubator call, because we really need to see the so-called institutional changes. So we are really looking for institutions that, thanks to the reinforcing grants, changes their way of conducting research and innovation. So an institutional change for us is a different way to run research and innovation activities. And in the case of an incubator call, this is the first time that you are try to start your journey on open and responsible research and innovation. So it's really important to see under the impact section, under the changes to be achieved section, there are changes to be get at the end of your project in your own institution, and especially in the coordinator institution, which is the main beneficiary of the incubator call. And then we have this third section on implementation, so the activities that you are foreseen to implement during the 1 year project. During the preliminary section, preliminary evaluation, sorry, we will have a look at the section excellence and impact to have a rough idea about the activities and the objectives of your proposal, to see if your project is in scope or out of scope for the fifth open call. And so if there is an alignment to the requirement and the activities and the topics that have been selected for the fifth open call. Of course, in some cases, if we have some doubts, we will also go through the implementation section to see the activities, because, as I said, we really would like to conduct a thorough evaluation, and before rejecting a proposal, because we know that there is a lot of effort and time put in the writing up of a proposal, because of course we have applied for many European funds as you. We really would like to be sure that there are no elements to say that your proposal will be rejected because not aligned. So it's really, really important to read carefully all the documents, the call text, and what are the requirements, and to check if you have really completed all the parts, and what reinforcing is requesting is there in your proposal, because we will really go through every single line of your proposal to assess the quality and alignment of the scope of this call. Since this is really important, reinforcing is meant to support ORRI projects, but for each open call there is a specific topic, and this is an open call on responsible digitalization. So we would like to see activities connected to the topic of this current call, responsible digitalization. So I can make an example. If you are applying with a project dealing with digitalization, and then you propose to have activities connected to the many dimensions and features of open responsible research and innovation, but there is no connection with the context of digitalization. This means that your project is out of scope, because we really need to see activities of implementation, reflection, or responsibility within the context of digitalization. So it's really, really important to grab the context and to understand what are the requirements, the specific requirements of the current open call. I think I can pass you the floor again, Marta, for the documents.
Yes, yes. So Angela has just mentioned also what is considered during the preliminary assessment. So moving a little bit more into the eligibility check, we consider during this phase of the evaluation process, so to summarize, the online form, so the completeness and what's written in the online form, the section 2 of the proposal template focused on the administrative information, and also 5.2 especially, which is the budget, and also the declaration of honor. And then the preliminary assessment and the final evaluation will focus more in the technical part of the proposal. So the preliminary assessment, section 3 and 4 mainly, but it's possible also to have a look in the implementation section, whereas the final evaluation focused in the all technical part of the proposal, so the 3 sections in total. So regarding the scoring system, this then the proposals that are considered eligible and then also passed the preliminary assessment will undergo the final evaluation carried out by the panelists that will use a specific scoring system in order to score the project and also to rank them in order to then fund the most high quality and proposals. This scoring system is attributed to each section of the technical proposal. So the scoring system is as a score from 0 to 5, where 0 is non-acceptable and 5 is excellent. So there are the average score for each section has to be at least 3 and will be calculated from all reviewers' evaluation. Then the sum of these average score results in the total evaluation score for each project. So the minimum total evaluation score for each project in order to be ranked and funded under reinforcing is 9. So it has to be 3 for each of the section. And then the maximum is, of course, 15, the maximum score. So the proposal with the highest ranking will be selected for funding until the funds for the call are exhausted. Remember that we can fund a maximum of 12 proposals under this open call. In case of ex aequo proposals, another extra criteria that can be considered is the diversity, equity, and inclusion that is considered in your project. So, and this final phase will also result also in the ranking, but of course also in the in the filling of a document which is provided by each applicant that is considered during the final phase of the evaluation. This is called the evaluation summary report. So this document summarizes the score attributed for each section of your proposal, and also a description of the evaluation results for each section. So I repeat that the evaluation summary report is only sent to proposals subjected to the final evaluation, whereas the applicants that did not pass the past evaluation phases, so the eligibility check and the preliminary assessment, will just receive a communication via email without providing them the evaluation summary report. So here, then we will provide it with this presentation. Here you can find the link to the useful material for this call. So the call text, the guidelines for applicants. If you have any doubt, you can also, of course, write to us at the email grants@reinforcing.eu. But you can also scroll and have a look at the guideline for applicants. Then also the link to the useful document for your application, for example, the proposal template and the declaration of honor, as well as the FAQ document and the document related to our privacy policy. So here I finish my presentation. Now I can make a submission test with you. So I can switch off the presentation. Okay. So moment. Okay, so now maybe you should also see the reinforcing website. Let me know.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So here you can find the home page of the website. If we want to apply for this current call, you should go in the menu here on the top of the web page. You should also go in the open call. Then you will find the window, and then you have to click on current call. So here you will find the web page dedicated to the call conditions. Here, as Lasse has described, you can find the call text and other references to the material. If we want to apply, we can click on here in the button apply. Here you can find the online form dedicated to our application. Here you can find also, you can download the guidelines and also download the proposal template and the declaration of honor. You downloaded them in a Word format, and please keep in mind to once you have filled, of course, you have to upload them in PDF. So let's suppose to do a test. So we can, you are required to complete with the information of your proposal. So you have to find an acronym to describe your project, and also you are to report the full title. Here you are required to include also the duration of your project. Remember that the project, the incubator project, should last 12 months. So we have to report 12 here, and here the contact of the main contact of your proposal. So here you are required to include the contact for any communication regarding the application and the submission process, and also the evaluation results. So let's, for example, include this information. For example, our project email. Number of project partners, for example, let's suppose we are 2 partners, and for both from Italy, for example. And here you are invited to flag some ORRI keywords, so some keywords related to ORRI that can match your thematics of your proposal. So for example, let's suppose that my project is related to the sustainability and also the diversity, equity, and inclusion. Then I have also some free space if I have other optional keywords to be included. And here there are some free spaces where you have a maximum space of 50 words to include an abstract of the challenges to be addressed with your project, which is in general is an abstract of your excellence part. Here you have also to report an abstract of the changes to be achieved with your project, and here an abstract of the project in general. Here you are required to choose to upload the attachments, so the project templates and the declaration of honor in PDF. So here I upload my project, my template, and here my declaration of honor signed. Remember, if you are, for example, 2 partners, remember to upload 2 declaration of honor, 1 for each project partners. And then finally, you have to read and agree the handling of the data according to the privacy policy. And then we should click on the button submit. Then there will be a window here. The information is successfully sent, and shortly you will receive a confirmation email that is the submission is done correctly. And then that's it. If you have any question, feel free to reach out to us, to our email address, but of course also here in the Q&A session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marta. I have just a slide about reinforcing duties or reinforcing consortium. So to share what is our role in your project and in supporting your project. Let's see. Okay, I suppose you can see the slide. So this is really important. Reinforcing, of course, will support you and coordinate the dialogues across the grantees for each cohort of grantees, but we will provide you with light support along the duration of the project. So the grantees are mainly autonomous in implementing their activities. We know that there are other projects with cascading grants which really support heavily the activities of the grantees. In this case, there are many actions, many meetings across the duration of the project, but you have to define since the very beginning, since your proposals, the actions that you would like to implement connected to responsible digitalization. So we will coordinate the activities among the grantees. We will have exchanges and peer learning activities, but the actions should be defined since the proposal stage. Just in the case of incubator grantees, so in the case of this current open call, Reinforcing will deliver an on-site training in Brussels at the start of the project, or the funded project, and this training is meant to be delivered only for non-experienced partners within the consortia applying for our funds. Because, as we said, in the case of incubator grants, it's mandatory to have a coordinator, which is a a newcomer to open responsible research and innovation, and the main beneficiary and the project partner implementing the majority of the actions, but within the consortium, so the second or the third partner can be, it's not mandatory of course, can be a partner already experienced in open science or responsible research and innovation, so supporting the coordinator in the implementation of the ORRI activities. Since experienced in open responsible research and innovation, these partners cannot access the training in Brussels, which will be delivered only for the non-experienced partners. So of course, it makes sense to provide knowledge and expertise on open responsible research and innovation for the newcomers partners to ORRI. As said, the reinforcing consortium and especially the call coordinator, and in this case we have two entities acting as call co-coordinators, AIT and Tecnalia, will coordinate the kickoff meeting for all the grantees and the monthly project meetings and the internal final project event to exchange views and opinions about the running of the project, but also to presenting to the other grantees the results and the ORRI tools to be delivered at the end of the projects, at the end of the journey and experience, thanks to the reinforcing grants. And for the incubator grantees, there is also this supporting service of mentoring in order to suggest actions and activities for a long-term ORRI institutionalization, and this is a service that will be delivered almost at the end of the projects of the grantees. And of course, reinforcing will also provide you visibility thanks to the reinforcing project channels and also organizing at the end of the projects a final public webinar with key names in open responsible research and innovation, in this case on responsible digitalization, to present your activities, your results, and your ORRI tools to the larger ORRI community. So just a short recap of the role of reinforcing consortium and call coordinator in supporting grantees during the lifetime of their projects. Okay, it's time for your questions. I would like to remind you that we have, apart from the guidelines, so documents to guide you through the application and evaluation process, we also have a document called the Frequently Asked Question, which is updated for each new call, so collecting questions that we have received in the previous webinars, but also through exchanges via the grants email, in order to provide you with more information and suggestion as possible to guide you through the application. So please consult these documents, because you will find a lot of answers and responses to questions that you might have. But of course, we are now here to try to reply to your questions and to your comments or requests of clarifications of our presentation. You can write your question on the chat, or also raise your hands and speak up and share your doubts with us and all the other participants today. So I see Lucien.
Hi, yes, good morning. Lucien here
from
the University of Greenwich. First of all, thank you for that webinar. It was very detailed, very clear. I still have two questions, one perhaps more practical question with regard to the nature of the consortium, and the other question with the scope of or what the scope of the call should be. So with regard to the nature of the consortium, I understand there should be at least 2 beneficiaries. Are we also allowed to include non-budgeted partners? So partners that would be collaborating with us on the project, but are not necessarily allocated any budget to?
So do you mean in-kind providers of services and supporters?
Yes, or like for example, they might help with facilitation of workshops or participation as well. So organizations that would want to contribute to the project, but that wouldn't necessarily be beneficiaries in the sense of receiving any budget to organize these workshops.
So I ask the support of Marta because I think we have foreseen this case, which is quite unusual because, of course, generally participants are also beneficiaries in terms of budget. But I suppose Marta has a more specific reply for you.
Yeah, there are no precise guidelines on the lump sum project since these kind of projects are lump sum. So I would say that this condition is could be eligible. In any case, but it's not your case. Remember that subcontracting costs are not eligible, but your condition for us is I would say yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Then just one other question with regard to the scope. So in terms of the objectives, to what extent should the objectives focus on effectively achieving impact and change? And to what extent should it more be focused on really developing a tool that could lead to change in the longer term, but that doesn't necessarily effectively already have demonstratable impact within the duration of the project?
Of course, it's quite difficult to reply precisely to your question because it depends on the activities that you are planning for your projects. Just a couple of things to be highlighted. Of course, when we talk about tool, we are talking about ORRI tool, which is not a technological tool. For us, an ORRI tool is an ORRI resource to tell your experience about your journey in open responsible research and innovation in order that other organizations, other actors can be inspired by your activities and can replicate, adapting to their own context, what you have done. Because, of course, we have this opportunity to fund institutions to implement open responsible research and innovation, but we would like to mainstream open responsible research and innovation. So we can do it through best practices, but also failures or sharing experiences of open responsible research and innovation. So for us, it's really key to see this ORRI tool. So to find a way which can be shaped whatever you can or you want, but it's a way to inspire other organizations to do the same and to adapt your context, so to provide insight about activities, guidelines, things that can help other members of the ORRI community to implement open responsible research and innovation activities. Moreover, reinforcing doesn't fund research and innovation as such. So since we are in the context of responsible digitalization, you perhaps might want to think about the design and the production of digital tools of any kind. We cannot cover the expenses for the design and implementation of the digital tool, but we can cover all the other activities connected to responsibility reflection or activities, stakeholder engagement, citizen engagement, reflections with other actors which are part of this responsibility journey. And so if you have some funding for the technological development and deployment, it's okay, but we should avoid double funding. So be careful, because this could be very complex on how to distribute the funding coming from reinforcing and funding coming from European Commission grants, for instance, for the technological development. So be careful in these. I suppose these are the main things that they can deliver around your question, because of course it depends on the specificity of your project. We cannot, unfortunately, provide individual responses for this, for the fairness of the process, but hope this clarified a bit what you wanted to know.
No, absolutely. That was really helpful. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Federico Bartolomucci.
Hello. Hi all. Thank you for the explanation. It was really clear. My question, maybe you partially answered in the last answer, but I just want to be clear. In case we propose a project of responsible research and innovation for the digitalization of another entity, meaning, for instance, I'm thinking of something around how cooperatives deal with data. So the coordinator of the project is not the main beneficiary or the main subject of digitalization effort. Is that allowed, or the coordinator should be the one at the center, let's say, of the digitalization effort?
Yes, this is the case, or the second option that you provided. Okay. So if you have this cooperative working on digitalization, they are the coordinator, so they have the majority of the activities and the majority of the budget, and you and your institution can act as facilitator of the ORRI implementation. And if you are already experienced in open responsible research and innovation, is okay. As I said, the most important thing is that the cooperative is a newcomer on digitalization.
Okay, clear.
And
thanks.
ORRI specifically.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions?
Bogdan, maybe? Bogdan?
Yes,
Bogdan.
thank you very much. So good day to you, everyone. So I was wondering whether you had a criteria for measuring the requisite level of digitalization of the coordinator and the partner. So just to give you a brief follow-up. So we are a higher education institution, the Project Management College in Serbia, and we already use some software and digital tools. And we would like to expand on those efforts, of course, in accordance with the ORRI principles. We are completely new to ORRI, so I was wondering whether there was some requisite level of digitalization that you require for institutions such as ours to apply for these projects, for this project, pardon me.
Okay, in a moment I will let the floor to the core coordinators if they would like to complement, but for us, it's not a matter of maturity in digitalization, but it's a matter of maturity in open, responsible research and innovation. So for us, it's really important to see a newcomer to open science or responsible research and innovation, or open and responsible research and innovation, ORRI. Of course, we think that his activities of responsible digitalization entails also a low maturity in digitalization. So you will like to start your process of digitalization along with this idea of responsibility in digitalization, but it's not a matter of maturity in digitalization, but in responsibility, and specifically in responsibility in digitalization. I don't know if Lasse or colleagues from Tecnalia would like to complement or add more details on these.
I would just like to second what you said, Angela, and then flag again to avoid any confusion that we don't fund the development of the technology or the solution, but otherwise I don't see a problem now.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. That answers my question perfectly. And we weren't thinking along the lines of developing any new tool. So you've made that perfectly clear that this proposal is not for that cause. So that's really important for us. So we are currently at a low level of maturity when it comes to responsible research and innovation. We would like to amplify that for certain, and this project, we see this as a very, very good tool for that. So thank you very much for your answer. And just one more question. Could you provide in the chat perhaps the email addresses of the colleagues that we would be at liberty to contact should we have any additional questions? Because if I understood correctly, Marta and Tabares will be disposable to answer any questions that we might have.
I will be in charge of the communication. If you have any doubt or also the communication about the results, I can write in the chat the email. But yes, I am the main contact.
That's perfect. Thank you very much.
Yes, Italbiotech is the contact point for any communication for questions related to grants, of course, for any doubts, especially on contents, etc. Of course, all the teams behind the scenes of the current call, and especially the two institutions acting as co-coordinators will support Marta and colleagues from Italbiotech in replying to you. But again, please, everyone go through the documents that we have prepared, the frequently asked questions and the guidelines for applicants, because you can find potentially a lot of answers to your questions, because at this stage, after 4 open calls, we have received many questions from potential applicants. So perhaps you might find your answers there. Bogdan, perhaps a further question or comment?
We have a question of Edwin in the chat. Maybe Edwin, you want to elaborate this? Edwin,
we've got like a workshop methodology that's about inclusive conversations in sort of researchers engaging with other actors and stakeholders, which seems to be appropriate with the level of digitalization as well. But I don't know whether that's an eligibility issue. Do we count as new to ORRI, having developed this as a methodology? Therefore, does another organization that maybe wants to implement that methodology be a better lead on the project? Just it's a question really about what does new to ORRI, like what are the criteria for that?
Thank you, because we can clarify a further point. Of course, to act as a coordinator is important to be new to ORRI, but a further thing is that we would like to see institutional change, so a different way to conduct research and innovation. So in this case, looking your profile of your activities, first of all, you need to ground your service of participatory methods in the context of responsible digitalization. And this is absolutely important. Otherwise, you can be rejected because out of scope. Then we would like to see institutional change. So the institution acting as coordinator at the end of this, at the end of the project, at the end of the 1-year project, should demonstrate that there is a different way to conduct research and innovation. If you act as support service, I will say that you are not the ideal candidate for coordinating this kind of projects. Of course, it's a rough consideration, which doesn't mean that is an evaluation. But we are more looking for companies, startups, entities, regional authorities, local authorities, national authorities, research performing organization, centers dealing with innovation that would like to embark on open responsible research and innovation, perhaps thanks to entities like yours providing this kind of services can implement responsible digitalization activities, and then at the end can provide information to us and evidences that there is an institutional change. So this for providing some elements that can be helpful also for other potential applicants. But again, this is not an evaluation. It's there are rough considerations about the kind of candidates that we would like to see in the consortia applying for this current call.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
Was helpful.
I also encourage all of you to check. I mean, I just put it on the chat, but we have a list of ORRI principles that can guide the development of your proposal, and also some deliverables where we try to dig into these ORRI dimensions and how to structure an ORRI approach to different kind of projects. So I encourage you, all of you, to take a look at all of these materials, which are also available in our reinforcing platform. I don't know if there are more questions here, but I don't see any more questions in the chat.
Because I see responses to the questions on the chat, but of course, if you... Okay, there is Gorsin.
Yeah, hello. Hopefully you will hear me because I'm outdoors. So first of all, thank you for excellent presentation, etc. The question is more technical. If the institution receive Incubus grant, because it's the newcomer for ORRI kind of topics, before the end of the project, is it eligible to apply for a booster grant? For example, we are planning to apply for one type of the project, but the people on the institution are having something completely different, but in a much smaller scale, which would be more suitable for, let's say, booster grants. But since we are not quite we are newcomer for ORRI. So the question is, next year when the booster grants are available, if we receive Incubus, will we be, as an institution, eligible for booster call as well? It's too many ifs, but let's say.
So there are two criteria. The first is the budget is budget related, so it depends how many the portion of the budget that you might have in the first grant. So for this current call, of course, if you are, it is not the case because it's an incubator call, so you need at least a further entity to apply together for this current call. And so perhaps you are the main institutions for the majority of the budget, perhaps 50 key. So the majority, then you can apply again in terms of budget for a further 10 key euros for a further reinforcing open call. In terms of ORRI maturity, so if you are a newcomer now and next and last open call, reinforcing booster open call will be open in December, which means that the projects will start 3-4 months later. And you start the projects under this current call in November, it means that you have a very small experience of ORRI thanks to this grant. So you are at the midterm of the incubator call. And so it's quite hard to think that you are already an experienced ORRI. Of course, it depends on the cases, it depends on the activities. it's very hard to consider you as an experience and so eligible for the booster, for the last booster call that we have in December.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Thank you. A further element that I would like to highlight, especially for this kind of open call, the incubator, but the same applies to booster. We really would like to fund institution implementing ORRI activities for their own institutions. So we talk about institutional change. We are not interested to support entities providing services on open responsible research and innovation for third parties. In this case, we can support partially this kind of entities, institutions, organizations, supporting the coordinator, as I have explained before, but with a smaller part within the consortium and also with a smaller part of the budget, because the idea that we would like to see territories, institutions, organizations, companies embedding their ORRI journey, and so to make a change in the conduction of their work. So facilitators, as we call it in reinforcing, and so providers of services and supporting services of ORRI can be foreseen, but with a smaller role and with a smaller budget in the incubator. So we can accept, and so proposals will be rejected if we see a consortium composed of two providers or services that, for instance, launch a campaign for responsible digitalizations for the public in general, in which we can see any evidences and institutional change. So consortia made of service providers, even if aligned with the topic of responsible digitalizations, are not eligible under the reinforcing call. This is really relevant because we received a lot of proposals with this kind of activities in the previous call, even if it was a booster, but in that case was really important to see an advancement of the institutional change in institutions, but we receive only proposal as a service providers of responsible digitalization for other entities not part of the consortium. This is not what reinforcing supports and funds. Other questions, comments, requests of clarifications? Again, of course, you will receive our presentations and the link to the recording that will be available on our social media and website very soon. And you can contact by email all of us thanks to the grants email. Lasse, as one of the co-coordinator co-coordinators, was very kind to share his email, but of course the official email to contact reinforcing is the grants. So please don't bother Lasse with questions, but bother Marta and her team with the grants official email for the reinforcing project.
Okay, so maybe it's time to close the event. Thank you all for your participation. We keep in touch. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and the best of luck.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Thanks,
everyone.
Bye-bye.